Hey, do you ever get stressed out, maybe overwhelmed? Well, we're going to talk about how to deal with it moving forward as we grow in your business. Come right back. Hi, I'm Ginger Bratzel from New Patient Attraction Automation and gingerbratzel.com, where we help dentists with strategy, training, and coaching to get to the next level and putting all the pieces together to make it happen. And I am so glad that you are here because we're going to talk about stress. Now, everybody has stress in their life. Now, some of us are really fanatical about letting the whole world know we're stressed out, and then others just internalize it and let it eat you up. Well, here's the deal with stress. It is part of life. As we've talked about before, it's like fear. It's never going away. So we can't just say, I want to live a stress-free life. What we need to do is figure out how to handle the stress. Because if we think of stress in a philosophical way, I heard this explained really great from a philosophical lecturer talking about the story of the lobster. The lobster, to grow, has a skeleton on the outside of his body. So once he gets big enough internally, it puts pressure on his skeleton. He gets uncomfortable. It is stress on his body. And he has to feel that stress, shed the protection, and go out on a limb and shed his skeleton, crawl under a rock until he grows another one. Because that is part of it. And if we don't have some stress in our life, we don't grow, we don't develop. But what you do with the stress is more important. Do you let it eat you up? So when I interview candidates for job positions, also for new clients to work with, I ask how they do it, what's their process for dealing with stress. And I want you to ask yourself this, and I want you to put this on every interview you have as a question from now on. But how do you deal with stress? Everyone's got to have a process. And not all of us realize at the time. It's like, well, you know what? I just totally shut down and I melt. Well, is that a valid process? And if you do, you give yourself, 24 hours to melt? You've got to give it a time limit. And then you go on to step B. And then you go on to step C. And then step D and E and F. We all have to have it. And if you know how your team members deal with stress, it makes you easier to do. If they know how you deal with stress, that helps you in the process too. So we need to identify them and know how it goes, because we just can't disappear off the face of the earth. You've got to have a process. And if this is your chance to sit down and think about that, and say, hey, you know what, I haven't been dealing with this. I haven't come up with my stress process. You need to come up with it. Say, I need you guys to help me out when I'm stressed out. First of all, I need you to leave me alone for 48 hours. Number two, I want you to start thinking of other solutions you can help me with this problem, because I need your help. So whatever is appropriate for you, but you've got to have a process, and we got to vocalize it to your team so they know they can help you when it is. Because nobody wants to eat a big hole in their gut from stress. And it's there. We're just going to learn how to deal with it. So let's use stress in a positive way, because we're going to be a lobster and we want to grow. We want to shed our skeleton that's holding us back and grow into a bigger, beautiful creature. So that's your mission this week, is to go identify your stress process and share it with your key people as you go through, and then embrace it in a positive way as you go forth in your practice. Until next time, this is Ginger Bratzel signing off. Bye-bye.